Dnešný podcast ti prináša Technická univerzita vo Zvolene. Zvolenská technická univerzita je na Slovensku jedinečná vďaka svojmu zameraniu na les, drevo a ekológiu. No svoje si tam nájdeš, aj keď ťa zaujíma strojárstvo, ochrana pred požiarmi, dizajn alebo ekonómia. Štúdium je zároveň úzko prepojené s praxou a tak si získané skúsenosti môžeš vyskúšať priamo v teréne. Vo Zvolene sa nachádza univerzitný kampus s možnosťami ubytovania aj stravovania, ale hlavne moderné učebne a špecializované laboratória. Poloha mesta priamo v strede Slovenska zase poskytuje skvelé možnosti pre fanúšikov outdoorových aktivít. Jednoducho na Technickej univerzite vo Zvolene môžeš študovať priamo v objatí prírody. Viac o takmer 20 študijných programov i prihláškach sa dozvieš na stránke tuzvo.sk. Ešte raz, viac info nájdeš na tuzvo.sk.
Multicultural society. The world today is becoming more modern, and so is the society which we live in. Culture is part of us from the moment of our birth, and it partially shapes our own personality. How do cultures influence us and our perspective on others? Let's find out together. Welcome to our next episode of podcasts. Society is becoming more and more multicultural due to people moving from country to country because of job opportunities or a change of lifestyle. Several cultures live together on one territory, sharing similarities and learning about their differences. The history of multiculturalism is connected to wars and land occupation. This process was violent and unpleasant because of all its deaths, fights, constant fear and looting. The oppression caused rebellion and conflicts, and since then immigration has been considered as negative. The majority of people pass judgment on immigration, even when immigrants have only good intentions to live freely. The presence of many races, different religions, cultures and habits can lead to tensions. Different cultures usually meet in metropoles, where diversity is really huge. The mixing pot full of various nationalities, languages, patterns of behaviour lead to two different perspectives. The positive one is based on acceptance and the attitude of learning something new about the history and development of other cultures. Tolerance and openness enable people to see the advantages of cultures which might enrich them from an intellectual and a spiritual point of view. However, these people can also have a negative attitude, judging other nationalities as sponges who are too lazy to work and seeking social support. Certain races and religions tend to have a reputation of being violent and ruthless, and these elements make people frown at each other and pass judgment. Slovakia is known for people having a similar attitude, one that is quite conservative. Society here is less multicultural, and the presence of other races is still greeted by goggle eyes. Slovak society is getting used to other cultures very slowly, and this process will probably take a long time. Judgmental looks make other cultures want to blend in with society and adjust to the situation of the particular country. Sometimes it costs them the oblivion of their own cultures and a complete adjustment to their host country. Some people are not willing to give up their origins and they retain their cultures and customs. As we already mentioned, this attitude can be problematic, and a cause might be found in misunderstanding racism or xenophobia. Cultural minorities feel isolated and discriminated against, and this can turn into protests and fighting for the right to live freely and without limitations. Mutual hatred and violence tend to increase on both sides when feelings are strong and attitudes unfair. Do you have any friends who come from bicultural families? The number of bicultural families is rising, and this is how society is becoming multicultural. Different races, religions or cultures join two worlds together, and the children between them have the opportunity to know both these sides. There is a high probability that these children will be open and know several languages, which is a very big advantage. Children learn to understand the cultural backgrounds and their roots, which makes them more conscious and tolerant towards other families who have the same lifestyle. On the other hand, children coming from bicultural families might have difficulties in school or within society. They can be judged by old-fashioned and obtuse people who can act in a racist way against them. What is the solution for judgment and hostility in society? If you answered the government, you are completely right. It should be in the interests of the state and the government to lead citizens to live in peace and tolerance in order to prevent crime and bring people closer together. Promoting tolerance and organising special programmes in school can be the right solution to this problem. The magic and beauty in each culture are rooted in different traditions and holidays celebrated in different ways. Slovakia has public and national holidays when you are free from work or school and you can enjoy the holiday at home or take a trip. Many of us are glad when holidays give us some days off during the working week. Public holidays in Great Britain are also called bank holidays because banks, shops, schools and all institutions are closed on these days. It is comparable to Slovakia, where people go crazy one day before the holiday and buy up everything in the supermarkets. Other holidays which are common in many countries, such as Christmas, Easter or the New Year, are on the contrary celebrated differently. Various customs and traditions make holidays interesting and enjoyable for families. The process is different, but the goal is the same: enjoying time with your family, being happy, and stopping for a while. Slovak families prefer long hours of food preparation for family gatherings, including carp with potato mayonnaise salad, cabbage soup and cakes. Presents under the Christmas tree bring pleasure to kids, and the winter atmosphere makes everyone feel cosy and a little tired after the big feast. Since various nationalities and religions celebrate Christmas differently, it is more suitable to wish them happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas. This gesture will surely meet with understanding and respect because Christmas is about kindness and acceptance regardless of people's religion or origins. In England, Easter is traditionally celebrated by hiding chocolate eggs in the garden, whereas Slovak special traditions can cause a shock to tourists. Women having water poured over them by men who are even rewarded for such violence is an extraordinary tradition appearing only in Slovakia. Most of the time, holidays in Slovakia are only an excuse to eat a lot and drink alcohol. No matter which country we are in, traditions should be cherished and admired everywhere because they are rooted in history and religion. Every country's traditions are magical and have their own meaning. Dear listeners, if you were listening carefully, we have talked about a multicultural society which gives us a variety of cultures, religions, traditions, races and opinions. It is up to us as to what position we take, but it should surely involve understanding and an interest to listen and accept people in the way they were born. Knowing about people and their differences just makes us more human and more intelligent. If you want to know more, stay on for a few minutes. Some countries try to be more liberal and they support the minorities living in their country by allowing them to have dual citizenship. Their languages are also supported by schools where minorities are taught in both languages. Books are published in the major language and also in the language of the minority. Minorities usually create communities to bring together similar people who can enrich each other with their experience and feel part of something. They can exchange advice on how to function in that particular society, and they support the maintenance of traditions and customs within their own organisations. You have surely heard about the melting pot and the salad bowl, the expressions connected to a multicultural society. The melting pot indicates the presence of many cultures in the same place, cultures that blend together and create one unique culture. Such ingredients put into the melting pot cannot be recognised by their individual characteristics, but they create a unique taste. On the other hand, the salad bowl is known for ingredients that can be told apart and that keep their unique taste, identity and features. Even if they are taken apart, they still create one unit. Even though the USA is celebrated for its cultural diversity, there are many instances of xenophobia and racism. Violence at school or in the streets is quite a common situation which we should avoid and prevent from happening. We shouldn't let multiculturalism divide society into two categories: those who don't mind and welcome this idea, and those who feel like it would threaten the original culture. It is necessary to teach children at school how to behave and treat other cultures. They should be shown how to socialise and respect each other, even if they don't agree or like the traditions or customs of the opposite culture. We are humans, and we shouldn't judge others by their outward appearance. Getting to know them more might help us to broaden our knowledge and perspectives about life. Acceptance is considered a high level of relationships, and that's why we should look for the good in everyone. Dear listeners, thank you so much for listening. We will be delighted if you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or write a comment on YouTube. We hope you listen to us again soon.